Hello there guys, and welcome back to SimCity. We are in Vaultford, which is going to be known from now on as Brownout City, due to the fact that we can't actually get our fusion power plant online. Completely my fault, of course, because in the last video I used up more control net than I had available by adding some more bits and pieces to the sewage sanitizer. Big mistake, because now I don't have enough power in reserve to get the fusion power plant up and running again. Don't have a lot of money either, and I'm afraid what I'm going to have to do is take out another massive bond, because I need to put in some additional power. We're still very short on employees too, which is our other problem here. We are definitely going to require some mega towers in order to get things up and running again very quickly. So what I'm going to do, and I appreciate that this is just a colossal waste of cash, but I am going to get as much power going as possible by beefing up this wind farm. And once we get our fusion plant online, we will destroy this wind farm, because I might actually keep the basic wind farm, just so we do have some backup power. I don't know. I'm going to have to consider that one carefully. We shouldn't need it at all, really, but what I may do is I might just leave the wind farm here and turn everything else off. We'll see how it goes, but we certainly need to get enough power to charge the fusion plant. We've got a lot of bits and pieces that aren't working at the moment. The next plan after that will be to try and get ourselves some mega towers in. Now, we have a fair bit of space here that we haven't capitalised on. We could certainly get a couple of mega towers in here, which would allow us room for casinos and attractions along this avenue. Of course, I do also want to get in an expo centre, which is quite a large building, so that could be problematic. So I think I'm definitely going to have to take some of this power plant away. But let's speed things along. Hopefully we will get enough power in the bank to get this up and running. So let's try and ignite the fusion reactor, see what happens. Really hope we've got enough power in the grid to get it going this time. We're buying power from our neighbours. Did we do it? We're up and running. We are online. Fantastic. So, what I am going to do here, power amplifier is offline. That is absolutely fine. I'm going to turn that off. Please tell me we haven't run out of control net and this is still going. It's still going. Good. We're very short of workers across the board. So what I'm going to do here is I am going to demolish most of it for the space, to be honest. So there's quite a lot of it gone. I'm going to turn the power amplifier off, but the rest of it I'm going to leave running. It's not going to cost us too much money just to have it there, so I'm happy with that as it is, and it does give us a little bit more room. So now we've got our power back on, we're going to keep things speeding along. Power is getting to all the places that it needs to. I can hear things turning back on. That is all good stuff, and that seems to have sorted out the majority of the problems. Yeah, a lot of people unhappy now. Certainly caused some issues with happiness. We've also got a lot of derelict buildings now as well. Obviously, people do tend to move out when the power has been off for a year or so. So let's get rid of even one of the big ones. That's a real shame. That was one of our sort of highest density buildings. One of these little ones down here. That's not too much of an issue for us. And, yep, there we go. We've got all of those. So that is fantastic. So, the biggest problem we have at the moment is a lot of our buildings really seem short of workers. If we look at the fire station, there's hardly anybody working here. A huge number of our buildings are actually without staff. And this is a problem. They want us to build the large fire station. We don't need to do that right now. Still struggling with the ferry terminal. Now, somebody did suggest putting in a rail station, which isn't a bad idea. I'm sure I've got room to cram one in somewhere around here. Let's just see how big they are, because I can't remember. Trains. Passenger train station. Yeah, not all that big, so we could easily get one in there, actually. So let us do that. Now it doesn't appear to be connected up to the roads, which is very strange. So let us go into roads. And too close to existing intersection. Really? You're not going to let me connect that up? Really? Will this work? No! Will... If we go up here a little... Will... come on. Wow. That's awful. Oh well, never mind. It kind of worked. It's connected. That's all that matters. The train station is connected. And what we are going to do is just make these roads as high capacity as possible just to make sure they can handle the traffic. So that's going to be a high density street. This is going to be a high density street. Brilliant. Train station is connected up. It has staff. Now what things can we add to it? A sign, which does nothing. So we've got a passenger train station. So we've got another way to get people in and out of the city. Zoning, we still have a huge demand for everything, but we're running short of space, and I want to save a lot of the space, so we are definitely going to have to go for some mega towers. Airport's not being used an awful lot. Hardly a surprise, so we're not going to really spend anything more on that. I am going to keep this power plant running. It's not costing me a huge amount of money to keep it going. ControlNet obviously is for the power amplifier, which I currently have turned off because we don't really need it. We've got a massive power excess now as well. Which reminds me, what I probably should be doing is no longer buying power from other regions. I don't need to do that anymore. I always click on the wrong button when going in here. So we should still have a relatively good power excess anyway. Now, I don't really want to turn on anything else at the sewage sanitizer right now. It is struggling to process, but the problem is... Why are we selling water to neighbours? We don't want to sell water to neighbours. Well, actually, yeah, we're not doing too bad on water. It's the sewage that we've got the problem with. We don't want to sell sewage capacity to neighbours. I think that's our biggest issue at the moment. I will turn some more of these... extra little pump things on, but we definitely need more ControlNet. That is where we are struggling at the moment. Let's look at the academy. Yeah, we have no ControlNet excess. We are very, very short. We're buying ControlNet from Vaultville, but there isn't an awful lot to go around. You see, we are still really short of high wealth workers here. We were researching the level 3 upgrade, so we'll carry on with that. Of course, there is the ControlNet facility, which could really help us out. We can still afford to buy one, so I probably should get one just to help resolve some of these issues. Where shall we place it? Somewhere that isn't really being utilised all that much. Looks like we've got space in there, although that may stop the houses from being able to grow. Shame I can't fit it in here, because we know that these buildings don't have the ability to expand. We could definitely put it in there, actually. So let's do that. So we now have the ControlNet facility. It still requires workers, of course, which is our problem. But it should give us a bit more ControlNet excess as time goes on. Can't really do anything about taxes. Do really want to get these bonds paid off as soon as we can, because that's also going to be an issue. How are we doing with gambling? How's this working for us? It is making profit. You know, 6,500 simoleons a day in profit. That's not bad at all. But yeah, there's trains coming in and out, so we're definitely getting people in. What do you want? Raise approval rating. Yeah, well, I would like to raise my approval rating. It just doesn't always work. Is that an abandoned building? Yeah. Again, because of no power. So, few unhappy people did move out. It's always best to keep your eye on these buildings, and as soon as you see them, destroy them, because then it allows people to come and rebuild, and they will eventually regrow. So how are we doing with ControlNet now? Do we actually have an excess? No, I think we're still having to buy a lot of what we need. Yeah, we're actually buying more than we're producing. But once we get more people, we'll be a lot better off. Of course, we've also got the at the garbage dump. Our furnace is one of the high-tech ones as well. Oh well, I've certainly had games that have gone easier. We are struggling a little bit here. So, we're still at full speed. We are waiting for some money. We would like to get in... The expo centres are stupidly expensive, but I would really, really like to get one. Is it the expo? No, it's the Pro Stadium. Just to give you an idea of how big it is. There you go. Look, it is absolutely huge. We could have the slightly smaller expo centre, but it's not that much smaller, and to be honest, you'll generate a lot more money from the Pro Stadium. But as you can see, that's actually quite big, and we still need room for 2 mega towers. So we could put the stadium here, have a couple of mega towers along the bottom, and then just fit casinos in, you know, sort of wherever we can. But obviously we don't have enough money to do that right now, but it is an absolutely colossal thing. Now then, someone wants us to build a mega tower and will give us an 80,000 simoleon reward. Now, that's well worth doing it, because it means if we buy a mega tower or build a mega tower, we're going to get a good chunk of our money back. If we look at the peasant towers, they're only 120,000. We're going to get 80,000 back, which means 40,000 for a basic mega tower, which isn't too bad at all. It's going to take us a while to get up to that amount of money. We could take out another bond, take out a smaller one, just so that we can afford to do it. There we go. We now have 3 bonds, so we've got to be careful. We have enough power excess to cope with this, so we'll put it down here right next to the power station. Obviously, it gives us a happiness boost to the entire city as well. And we get our 80,000 back instantly. And I think what I'm going to do with that is I am going to instantly repay that 3rd bond that we just took out. And then that's less money per month going out of our account. We've also got a 75% approval rating, because that really helps our happiness. So that is another mission completed. Now, I must remember this time around, now we can actually build these, I can't even remember what they're called now. What are they? The sky bridge. We can actually build sky bridges between our mega towers. So we'll definitely be sure to put some sky bridge levels in on our mega towers when we can. We will also have one of the elite mega towers as well, because we do want to get some high wealth workers. They're very important to us with our city. Still, somebody else wants us to build a recycling centre. It will be done, but not yet. It is not a priority. Build a dream mansion. Do we actually have the mayor's house at the moment? I can't remember if we actually have one built. I'm sure we do. Oh no, it's the mayor's mansion. We've got a mayor's house, but we don't have the mayor's mansion. Well, let's go ahead and put that in. Somewhere where we want to increase the happiness in general. Guess we could put it in here next to the university, because these houses don't seem to be expanding too much. So let's pop it right in there, and that will give us a bit more happiness around the city. So that's all good stuff. You're unhappy about what? Can't find work. Yes, that does appear to be a bit of an issue, although oddly enough there are plenty of places that have jobs. So why can't you find one? If you can't find work, it is pretty much your own problem in this city, because almost every building needs workers. So there's really no excuse for people not having jobs around here. Now, why can't they increase density? Not enough room. This was always going to be problematic with some of the bigger factories. Can't do an awful lot about that, sadly. Still not doing too bad on tourists. This is why it's worth having casinos. This is actually making almost 8,000 profit a day now. Of course, it's still very short on workers. The more workers it has, the more profit it will have. So we've got our mega tower built. Now, they want a park or mall level. Well, it's not a bad idea. It does increase happiness. But what I'm going to do is put in a park level. And the reason for doing that is that if I put in a mall level, it will also... No, actually, I'm wrong. I was thinking that mall levels also use workers, but they don't. They just give people happiness. But we'll put a park level in, and that will keep people happy. And it's not too expensive to build either, so that's good. The apartment level is at max capacity. So as soon as this is built, we're going to put another apartment level in. Police service, yeah, they're managing. It's not too bad. Crime here is actually fairly decent. It's not bad at all. We can certainly live with things how they are. And we've got about 4,000 simoleons per hour coming in. There we go. We've got a park level on there as well. So let's go nuts and put in another. We definitely need another low value apartment. Not really making any profit here. But this mega tower is just going to get out of control very, very quickly because we're probably going to have to put an office level in. We need it to make money, really, but they are expensive to run. But we will see how things go. Most of all, we're doing this because we need a big boost to our population. Just to try and get people in jobs more than anything else. We would very much like the Expo Centre. Fusion power plant is working fine. Still a massive excess of power, which is good. We are getting some bigger buildings pop up, which is fantastic, even though they're right next to a runway. We can upgrade the City Hall, but we don't want to put anything extra on it because there's no point. We can upgrade the Mayor's House, or the Mayor's Mansion, which means we can add on these extra little bits and pieces that... How is that on top of a road? We can add these little extra bits and pieces that give additional happiness. So let's go right ahead and do that. Brilliant. Things still speeding along. So Vaultville needs oil. Voltopolis needs coal. Well, I'm not producing any of that because this is not an industrial town or an industrial city or whatever you want to call it. We have our other apartment level. That is already at max population as well. Now, level 4 seems... What do you want? What do you want? No shopping. You want shopping. Yes, okay, we'll add a mall level. So what are we on? 1, 2, 3. Now let's just see what we can add on here. We can have a reactor level. Apparently these are quite good. They still use ControlNet, but they do produce a lot of power, so we've got that option. Could go for education levels as well, which would be quite good. But I think what we're going to do... Now, I do want to have Skybridge stations, but they use ControlNet. So at the moment, we're not going to bother with that. And we are going to go for a mall level. And then we'll probably end up having another apartment level on top of that. We do also want to get an elite mega tower up and running as soon as possible, as well as the Expo Centre. That is where our money is going to come from. We've still got these 2 massive bonds, which we can't afford to pay off. So, yeah, we really do have to be careful here. Let's just leave it running at full speed and have a look at happiness. Everyone's happiness in general is going up. High wealth happiness is going down. Angry that kids aren't able to go to class. So obviously having a bit of problem here. Oddly enough, the university is nowhere near its sort of top level of students. We can do a research project here. Although they do require various different schools, so we can't actually do that yet. What have we got going on here? So many things. Not sure exactly what you want me to do. Reduce air pollution. Fine. Good. Got some new buildings. Now, schools. Apparently this is a bit of a problem. It doesn't look like we have many spaces left in class. Let's have a look. Yep, so we've only got 1,066 of 1,500 students enrolled, so we certainly need to put some extra classrooms in as and where we can. Get some extra school buses. All just spending money which we don't have. We must have another school somewhere. I'm sure I will have put more than one in. I know we've got the university. Oh, of course, there we go. We have another school here. This one is absolutely bursting. It is at its maximum capacity. So let's get a few classrooms going in there. Another couple of buses. Right, hopefully now we're going to have a lot more room. We've reduced air pollution by doing absolutely nothing. We've earned rent from mall levels by doing pretty much nothing. So that's good. Need more shoppers to make a profit. This is the thing that really does annoy me about this game, is that you put in living quarters to get people, and the people demand shopping because there isn't enough shopping. So you put shopping in, but then the shopping says it doesn't have enough people to shop there. I've got people in the city who are saying that they're annoyed because they can't find work, whereas 90% of the businesses and buildings in the city are actually grossly understaffed. Now, bear in mind that I'm actually using a mod that gives you a breakdown of the various different wealth. So as you can see, the small fire station requires 30 low wealth, 7 medium wealth, and it doesn't actually have any slots for high wealth. Now, somebody has suggested that maybe this particular mod doesn't break it down correctly, and I'm perfectly willing to accept that, but you've got to remember two things. First of all, this mod was actually created by somebody from Maxis who worked on the original game, so he must have an idea of what he's doing. Secondly, the only thing the mod does is break down the employees into the different demographics. So the fire station would still have 37 employee slots regardless of using this mod, and it's only got 2 out of 37 in total. So there's definitely an issue with people not finding work, which is a real issue here. Particularly what we've got going on here at the Academy. The Academy really needs some high wealth workers, so we don't want to be selling ControlNet to the neighbours because we haven't actually got any to sell. How are we doing with ControlNet at the moment? Mega Tower's complaining that they haven't got enough shoppers. We already know about that. It is making a profit though, which is good. Yeah, we don't have any additional ControlNet. We didn't expect to have any. We probably can't afford to put another apartment level on. Or we could do, actually. We could afford another apartment level. Let's go for it. We need people in the city. I mean, we are getting money from taxes. How is the gambling house doing? Making 11,000 profit per day now. Actually doing quite well here. Let's have a look at the tourist. Still not max. Doesn't have any lodgers because it doesn't have anywhere for people to stay. Not sure if we can afford to put anything on. We could put some cheap rooms on. I love how everywhere you try and put something down, it tells you that it's overlapping. Overlapping what exactly? Okay, what's that? That is nice rooms. Medium wealth rooms. We can put that on the roof, so that's fine. Let's put the medium wealth one on the roof. And then we could have like nickel slots and blackjack tables and a comedy club. So let's put these in where we can. We are just wasting money here. I appreciate that, but there we go. Let's put that in. Oh, that's why we couldn't put the thing in, because that was behind it. Oh, well, never mind. We can't put cheap rooms on this particular casino, but we can do one somewhere else. And that's just going to allow us to do it on... Oh, we've reached the limit anyway. We've maxed out everything we can put on that casino. That's fine, because we will get another one later on. There's lots of casinos and things to choose from. Still working our way towards that other apartment level. Brilliant. The mall level now seems happy. Apartments for rent. Hopefully we'll get everybody moving in there nice and quickly. They're only okay. Now I want to avoid building any more on this mega tower if I can help it, because what I would like to do is put in an elite mega tower next door, and we can use that to get ourselves the high wealth people, and then we can also run avenues across and try and reduce as much of the traffic as possible. We are managing to get sewage processed, only just. But like I said, we don't really have the control net to spare at the moment. Where did I put the... There it is. How are you doing? Not doing too bad. We don't want to sell control net to neighbours. We cannot afford to do that. Yeah, we're still actually buying some in. We're only having to buy... Oh, no, we're not buying any more now, actually. But we still have a very, very small excess. It's only an excess of 110, but at least it is good that we are getting there now. I'm going to leave the option to buy from neighbours on, just in case we do get to a point where we start to run out for whatever reason. Do we have any derelict buildings? None at all. That is fantastic. Police station is complaining a little. What do you want? Not exactly sure what it is you want. Oh, just arrest 10 more criminals. That's not too bad. Oh, the jail cells are full. That's not a problem. We can afford to put another couple on. Of course, this is not exactly saving us money, but at least the jail cells are full. Very futuristic looking police hover car things going on now, which is quite cool, because it's in a little futuristic part of the city. I think it's probably worth putting another police car lot on there as well. And, you know, we are struggling with cash now. We're definitely getting down into the low end of things. But at the same time, we're getting a lot more people in the city. We have a decent amount of money coming in from taxes. We've got a decent amount of money coming in from that gambling house now. It's making 20k a day in profit, which is brilliant. Did get a little flash there on government, because we can upgrade the mayor's mansion. And we're going to go in there. People are protesting too much sewage. Closed now. Hiring. With so many problems. Let us put in the fountain just to increase people's happiness. And as you can see, some of the local buildings are now starting to increase in density. Fantastic. Okay, so what else do we have going on? This is certainly going to help with taxes as well, because as we get more and more people moving in, yep, apartments are all full, which is brilliant. It's going to be a little while before we can afford that elite mega tower, though, which is the only concern. So that might have to be something that we do next time. Fire department couldn't get through to a building before it burnt down. Obviously, we have some issues with the roads, which we already knew about. We've got an abandoned building there, because we literally just watched it burn to pieces. Well, this video has gone on for quite some time now, so I think it's a good idea to leave it there. Thanks a lot for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. Until then, goodbye for now.